Nathan Ivey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. And for Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the tent plates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of drippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
I hope that you are doing well. I know I am. It is an absolute beautiful day, broadcasting live from a secret location somewhere in the greater Cincinnati area. Good morning to you. Good morning. I'm dressed for what I'm going to do after the show, which is hit these streets, work this body, get it in nice and early. Health is wealth. Good morning to you. On today's show, I plan to deliver flows on numerous topics. Most talk show hosts just talk. I am a flow artist. We flow here. And from time to time, we drop superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. But on today's show, not only do I want to talk about the massacre in Michigan, you see that young man right there? He's 15 years old. And prosecutors are now saying they're going to charge him as an adult. His name is Ethan Crumbley. And he is the latest example of something that if you are a parent that you probably think about on a regular basis, and it's not a good thought. And that is, what would happen if there is a shooting at your child's school? Prosecutors are alleging that Mr. Crumbley there at 15 years old shot and killed his classmates. At least 4 of them have died already at a Michigan high school. Prosecutors are alleging, and they got this information from watching the video. A lot of schools have these videos, which, you know, is everything. Got to have good video technology. They're saying that he emerged from a bathroom from inside the school and just start randomly shooting at people. He shot 11 people. To this point, 4 people were killed. Several others were left critically and seriously injured. He was later arrested in connection with the shootings, and now he's being charged with 1 count of terrorism and 4 counts of first-degree murder. Apparently, they found some videos on his phone from the night before in which he was talking about how he was going to commit a massacre, a mass shooting, and kill a lot of people. And just a few hours before the shooting, he had a meeting with the school administrators talking about his behavior inside the classroom. A few hours later, he emerges from the bathroom, kills now 4 of his schoolmates. And there's even some talk about his parents being charged as well. I'll give you the details on it at 513-873-7134. This all happened in Oxford, in Oakland County, which is about 30 miles north of Detroit, and now adds to the growing list of school shootings in the United States. Why are there so many school shootings in the United States, in your opinion? I got a lot of questions for you. Why do you think there's so many shootings in American schools? Two, do you think that having armed teachers could prevent these kind of things from happening, or could prevent as many people from getting it? Could having armed teachers, or teachers being armed, concealed and carry teachers, your geology teacher has got a Glock, right, tucked under the Bill Cosby sweater, the dad sweater, right? That's not a dad bod. That's not a dad bod. No. That's your history teacher's firearm tucked under the sweater. That's what that is, right? Do you think that a scenario like that could save lives? Could having armed teachers save lives in situations like this? I'd like to get your thoughts. 513-873-7134. Why do white kids idolize Columbine? Now, there's been no connections that I've read so far to this particular case with Ethan Crumbly and, you know, the in connection to Columbine. Remember Columbine? But I do know, after many, many years of these kind of stories and all the information that's out there, that over the years, there have been suspects in these type of mass shootings. And when the authorities go through their phone or go back through their belongings, what they'll find is that either they were researching what happened at Columbine, the deadliest shooting in a school ever in American history to this point, or they straight out idolized them, you know, posters and all kind of stuff of these damn psycho sickos. So I like to know what that connection is at 513-873-7134. If you think there is a connection, you might be like, Nate, ain't no connection. This is random as hell. Could you imagine being a parent? Oh my gosh. Woo. Man, I'll be honest with you. At the school where my daughter attends, which is Walnut Hills, like, you know, when you talk with some of the parents at that school, what they'll tell you is that some of those children are under so much stress. They're under so much stress just dealing with the curriculum and dealing with the expectations that either is put upon themselves by parents and people as expectations or their own expectations. And then you got to deal with dumb-ish in terms of teachers and administrators. It could just be a pressure cooker. That's a real fear for me. That's a real fear for me. You know what I'm saying? They got these bulletproof backpacks that you give with your kids. I damn near want to do that with my daughter, give her a bulletproof backpack, because it's not about her. It's about the other students. You never know. You never know when somebody might just snap. It might just snap on you and then go to the school and cause a lot of damage. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Right? And I don't want my daughter to get caught up with that. But what do you do? What can you do? 513-873-7134. That's the last phone call that you ever want to get. You don't want to get a phone call like that talking about your daughter or your child was shot at school. You're like, what? I thought she was in math class. But no, they're running for their lives. And it really is unfair. Like, somebody emerges in a tight situation, like some of these school buildings, they have these narrow hallways. Like, somebody pulls a weapon, what are you going to do? Where are you going to run to? I mean, what can you do? You're just kind of stuck in some ways. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can do. Right? There's only so much that you can do. 513-873-7134. I know there's some videos that are out there. I've got one that I want to share with you later on. They had a big candlelight visual at Lake Point Community Church in Oxford, Michigan, on Tuesday night. And typically you'll see these type of things. And you never can tell, man. You never can tell. Like, you got some young people out there that are like school age, and they're not well adjusted. They're not well adjusted. They got problems at home, and they bring the problems from home to the school, And in some cases, they got problems at the school where maybe they're being bullied and then administrators are not moving fast enough to deal with it, or they've got all kind of social issues and anxiety issues and things like that. And then some children, some people just aren't nice. They're not nice as adults, and they weren't nice when they weren't adults, when they were in high school. They're just not nice. You got some folks out there that are just straight up not nice, right? They like to pick at people and poke at people and prod at people and just get a reaction. And then when you get a reaction, they're not ready for it. I don't know. We'll find out. I do know that this young man, and I'll put his image up here again, 15 years old, that apparently he has some issues. And he looks like he's got some problems. I'm going to be honest with you. Just look at his face. Let's be real here. Let's be real. And obviously they were not addressed in a way that was to his satisfaction, because if it was, he wouldn't have went on the rampage that he went on. So there it is. I want to get your thoughts about it. Again, I have a few questions. Before we get too deep into the show, I want to remind you that our friends over at the Ohio Kings are kicking off their brand new season this year. First home game is this Saturday. That's December 4th at 6 p.m. The Ohio Kings versus the Cincinnati Movement. And it all goes down at Cincinnati State Technical and Community College. That's at 3520 Central Park Way here in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio. General admission, $10. That gets you in, and you can enjoy the game and everything that goes along with it. If you want the VIP, courtside VIP, $20. And it also gives you access to free concessions. Now, you can purchase tickets at ohiokings.ticketbud.com. As I understand, you can also purchase tickets the day of the event as well. And they're giving out free haircuts for all the kids. Oh, yeah, and check this. This is definitely pro-family because kids 12 and under get in free as long as they are accompanied by an adult. But here's the thing. We are living in a COVID world, so masks are required. Masks for everybody. You get a mask, and you get a mask, and you get a mask, and you, sir, in the back, you get a mask as well. And then bring your mask with you to the Ohio Kings versus the Cincinnati Movement. This is locally Black owned. The Ohio Kings are locally Black owned. Come out and root for your hometown team and have some fun. Do something different. Semi-pro basketball in Cincinnati. Do something different. Good morning to you. All right, 513. Hey, what's up, Naomi? Thank you. Helpful and humble. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Thank you for following the show. I appreciate you. I could just see that. Good morning to you. What's up with the choppers?
Get to the choppers,
man. What are you talking about? Get to the choppers. A little bit more news. I've been on Netflix like everybody else, more off than on, but over this past weekend, as I told you, I unplugged a little bit more than I usually do. I got a chance to catch up on my shows, okay, and watch some shows. And I started watching this show called The Godfather. And it was about this Black dude, right, who I had never heard of before. But apparently he's a somebody. And they called him the Black Godfather, right? And apparently he came up in the music industry and had all these connections. Anybody see that? Anybody see that? The Black Godfather on Netflix? Raise your hand virtually if you did. I started it. I'm probably 30 minutes into it. You know, I've been 30 minutes into it for a while now. How many people got shows like that on Netflix where you start it and you're like, I'm gonna come back to this, right? And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. But what's up, Harry? What's up, Harry Johns? Tech Wiz. I'm not sure what that is. What's up to you, brother? But so it's called the Black Godfather, and apparently he had all these connections with the music industry, and he's behind some of the biggest acts in music. But you never heard this dude, right? He just plays it to the back. The Black Godfather. Well, yo, damn. I get on the internet and I'm doing what I do, and I see that there was a home invasion at the Black Godfather's house. His name is Clarence Avant. There was a home invasion. He's got a home in Beverly Hills. This man is older. He's like in his 90s. In fact, he is 90. So apparently some folks went into his home, maybe on some stick-up type stuff, and ended up fatally shooting his wife, Jacqueline Avant, who is prominently featured in the documentary. there's a lot of scenes in the documentary where they're sitting right there hand by hand. And she's talking about, being his wife and watching him come up. Just super like, wow, really? His wife was 81. Apparently, somebody broke into the home Wednesday and ended up shooting her. By the time the police showed up, the perpetrators had already left. Yeah, you see this? I got an image for you. I'll show you real quick. In 1 second. Anybody watch that? It's called The Black Godfather on Netflix. You can Netflix it right now. I guess that means do a search on Netflix and it'll come up. I thought it was interesting. Damn, I'm sorry to hear this, man. God damn, since always somebody's trying to take some shit that ain't, it don't belong to you. And shoot this woman for what? Whatever happened to just run away? Right? Everybody lives. Here it is right here. That's the Black Godfather right there, and his lovely now dearly departed wife, Jacqueline Avant, who was shot and killed. They look like they got money. What is that around her waist? Look at that. That's some old Wonder Woman-ish right there. Where'd she get that from? You don't see that you don't get that at no dollar store. You can't pick that up at the dollar store. So I don't know these people personally, but again, I just started watching the documentary and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. He's one of those hidden figure types. And his wife is prominently featured in the documentary. She got a lot of screen time, way more than Michael Jordan gave his ex-wife in The Last Dance. Way more. It's almost like Michael Jordan did everything by himself. No, bro. Damn, but she got shot and killed, man. So R.I.P., man. It's a really sad little turn of events there. Anybody see that? Let me look at the chop shop here. Anybody see that? Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Kathy writes, I saw Mr. Avant's story last year in the news yesterday. Sad. Yeah, I know, right? Damn. How you gonna shoot the Black Godfather's wife, man? What? Animals. God damn animals, man. You don't got no remorse. It's the Black Godfather. You gonna break into his home? I wonder if there's a connection between that Netflix series and then, you got people out there that sit back like, oh, I see a target, right? And now go out and try to do something crazy, man. Just a terrible story right there. Queen writes, oh, I was talking about the series on Epic. Oh, I'm not sure. Marisha writes, yes, I seen the Godfather documentary. Yeah. I'm 30 minutes into it. Very, very sad story right there. Very, very sad. And that's like, they've been married for years and years. He 90, she 81. You know what I'm saying? They probably meant everything to one another and shit. You know what I'm saying? They probably meant everything to one another. And now they've been separated over some dumbish, over a couple bucks. Over a couple bucks, man. Like, I can understand you want to do the stick up kid thing and you're going to rob, and I understand that, but you going to murder people over some trinkets that belong to them? Let me move on. Some local news here, and I'm so happy. I hope I never hear the phrase gang of five ever again in my fucking life. I hope I never hear that phrase. I'm so tired of hearing the phrase gang of five. Local media, God dang it. I can't curse until after 8:30 because all the kids in Cincinnati Public School should be in school then. This is a pro-family kids show, so I'll give you that. After 8:30, the gloves come off. I can curse. But damn, yo, I'm so sick to death of Sharon Coolidge and whoever else was writing for the Inquirer, because they could not stop writing about the so-called Gang of Five. And it's so funny because I don't hear nobody saying anything about the Gang of Eight. Sharon Coolidge, what's the dude that writes the column for people saying he's like the new Peter Bronson? I don't think he is. Jason, whatever, what's his name? His name will come to me. Anyway, he writes the column for the Inquirer. They talk all this about the Gang of Five, the Gang of Five, the Gang of Five, the Gang of Five, and now you got a Gang of Eight. Y'all talked up a Gang of Eight. Oh, the Democrats got a Gang of Five. Gang of five, 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 gang of five. And now you have a gang of 8. Now you got a gang of 8. That's what you deserve. Anyway, yesterday I read, and I hope this is the end of it, that Wendell Young pleaded no contest but was found guilty to a misdemeanor charge of obstructing official business. I don't even know what the hell he did at this point. It's just that y'all went so far with this that nobody cares about it. I told you nobody cared about it. Y'all went so hard, gang of five, that you made it irrelevant. You made my point that it was just some dumb ish to talk about. It was politically motivated, and it backfired because the Democrats got even more of a majority on city council now. You got even more of a majority. And none of the, well, let me say here. So I'm so glad that you know who is not on city council. Bessie Sunderman. She was I'm so happy. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. And I mean, local media and then these local Gilligan-ass Republicans was running around here talking about the Gang of Five and text messages. And I told you voters didn't even really understand or give a damn about any of it. And it appears that I was correct on that. But I seen this article yesterday written by Sharon Coolidge. Damn. Y'all got the easiest job in the world. All you got to do is keep writing about the same damn thing. And y'all just killed it. Y'all went way too far with it without having any real substance that people really cared about. So now this is, I think Wendell Young deleted some text messages. We don't even know what the nature of the text messages are. And you had Bessie Sunderman. Remember this? It was the day after the primary. Oh my! She was talking about how we need to get Wendell Young off council, and he's still there. Well, he's going to be terming it out, and then her term is going to be ending very, very soon as well. She thought that was going to help her get reelected. She's going to make her name off of digging a grave for the black guy. It didn't work. It did not work, Betsy. Joe, if you would have spent more time digging deep and delivering substance and tangibles, then maybe we would have got reelected. But you didn't do that. You run around here talking dumb-ish, and then at the 11th hour, months right before the election, do you want to have a series of community events where you fake care about it? Get the hell out of here. I'm glad that people saw right through that nonsense. I saw through it from the beginning. First time she opened her mouth, I was like, no. Shorty ain't gonna make it. But I hope this is the end of this whole thing and we don't ever have to talk about this dumb-ish ever again. Wendell Young pleaded no contest and was found guilty Wednesday on a misdemeanor charge of obstructing official business for deleting some text messages, and we don't even know the nature of the text messages. Meanwhile, the mayor, forgot and dropped his phone in a hot tub, and somehow dropping your phone in a hot tub erases all your text messages and all. You can still get your damn text messages. The hell out of here. Hamilton County Common Pleas Court Judge Robert Ruhlman ordered Young to pay a $100 fine. All of this for a $100 fine? All of this for a $100 fine. They spent all this time, all these years talking about this shit. Lord, forgive me for a brash delivery. For this man to pay a $100 fine, you can pay more than that with a speeding ticket. This was a colossal waste of our time. It was from the beginning and the middle and the end. It was a waste of time and resources, and nothing has really come from it whatsoever. Nothing's really come from it. Nothing came from it at all. It was just some dumb-ish to waste time talking about. That's all it was. It was nothing ever more than that. It's not a kitchen table issue. Nobody really cared about it, except for these local Cincinnati reporters and these local Gilligan-ass political agents. That's all it was. And now you got a gang of 8 Did I say that before? I'll say it again. Now you got a gang of 8. The judge also pointed out the plea came in part because the case was weak. Like, the Hamilton County prosecutor appointed a special prosecutor for this. Remember this. This man got paid money from the county to investigate Wendell Young and to tell us what Wendell Young told us 2 years ago. He didn't come up with anything else. Why am I the only person outraged? These fake ass Republicans running around talking about how we want to be stewards for your tax dollars. That was a colossal waste of tax dollars. A special prosecutor to investigate Wendell Young, who already confessed to everything he did. The special prosecutor did not find anything different than what Wendell Young told us 2 years ago. They didn't find nothing different. Only white people get jobs like that in Cincinnati, where they don't have to do anything. Only white folks get those kind of jobs. It's amazing. It's amazing. Only white people get jobs like that in Cincinnati, where they can get paid big money to do nothing. He ain't doing nothing. Nothing. And now you flash forward to 2021, and this man gets a $100 fine. Colossal waste of time, and all of the local journalists that spent time on this should be reprimanded. They should be pulled into a room and say, look here, y'all, this was some dumb shit. This was some dumb shit. Y'all waste a lot of time. But, you know, whatever gets clicks, I get it. People were calling for Wendell Young to resign. He said, I would not. And he was right. All of this, people, all of this was nothing more than a politically motivated attack. All of this started because Christopher Smitherman was thinking about challenging P.G. Sittenfield for mayor. You know I'm going to tell it all. That's all this shit was. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. That's all this ish was. So now let me try to get some dirt on PG and the Democrats, because that might help me if we go head to head in a mayoral face off. Now, of course, didn't work that way, but that's how it started. And then you had these fake ass Gilligan Coast and these fake ass operatives who don't get paid, like Black Russia. You ain't getting paid. Run around here talking all this nonsense, wasting a lot of people's time and energy trying to throw shade on these folks, and for nothing. Also, Wendell Young can pay a $100 fine. We could have did this from the jump. Hamilton County prosecutor says, you know, we need a special prosecutor to look into this. Colossal waste of money. But where are all the Republicans who are the stewards of your tax dollars? And every time somebody wants to spend $1, oh, Lordy, we shouldn't spend that dollar. Where are you at now? Nobody ever has a problem wasting money going after like this in the city of Cincinnati, it seems like. Colossal waste of time. Gang of fine by. Now you got a gang of 8. Now you got a gang of 8. 8 is more than 5. Now what? Now what? Oh, man. From what I'm reading, the judge asked Wendell Young if he wanted to apologize. They always want a black person to apologize. We ain't apologizing for your ass for shit. For what? And from what I'm reading, that's when Wendell Young's lawyer stepped in and said, nah, we won't be doing that. Quote, you're not public enemy number 1 or anything like that. You were a police officer. You were a good guy all your life, but it was wrong to do that. To do what? What did he do? What did he do? He deleted some text messages, allegedly. This is what passes as justice in Cincinnati, man. This is crazy. Get the hell out of here. You're not public enemy number 1 or anything like that. Really, Robert? Really, Judge Ruhlman? He's not public enemy number 1? Well, damn, I'm glad you told us that, because I was starting to think we had a real problem here. Of course he's not public enemy number one. Public enemy number one. Oh my gosh. Did I read to you that yesterday the judge pointed out that the plea came in part because the case was so weak? I'll say it again. The judge himself said the case was so weak. And there was a previous judge that was like, you know what? There's nothing here. But Joe Dieters, being the partisan Republican warrior that he is, right, had to do his bit, anything he can try to do to try to move the needle, to try to make the Democrats look bad and make the Republicans look good. A special prosecutor? This guy spent he was getting paid for like a year. Damn, I'm telling you again, only white people get jobs like that in Cincinnati and Hamilton County. Black folks don't get jobs like that. So what are we doing? Nothing. But you're getting checks. I'd like to know how much Special Prosecutor Pat Hanley actually got paid over the last year to investigate what Wendell Young said, and then to find nothing more than what Wendell Young actually said. I'd like to know. But I'm sure I'm the only one who wants to know that. I'd love to see the Inquirer do a deep dive into how much Pat Hanley actually got paid, but they probably won't do that. That's not the plan. That's not the plan. So apparently Young deleted text messages on his cell phone back in 2018 because there was all this big stuff about the Gang of Five text messages. I actually made the text messages, right? One of the council members tweeted about me or somehow said something about me. And so I was like, hey, shit, do I get like a little lapel pin with this? I was in the Gang of Five text messages, something like that. I thought it was hilarious. But in terms of like it having any real impact in our lives, or like were the members of council trying to like create a shadow form of government? I heard that over and over again. Shadow government. It wasn't no damn shadow government. Sit your ass down. It wasn't no shadow government. There is a shadow government, but that wasn't it. I mean, there is a shadow government in Cincinnati and Hamilton County, but that wasn't it. And then it was Wendell Young, who I think, if I remember correctly, referred to himself and the other people as the Gang of Five. And then, boy, oh boy, man, if people donated like $5 every time Christopher Smitherman said Gang of Five, either in council or on his social media or on some of these goofy ass, whack ass interviews he was doing down the dial, man, we have $500,000. Gang of Five, 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 Gang of Five. Negro? What? Huh? Gang of Five, Gang of Five, Gang of Five, Gang of Five. Huh? This what you get? This what you want to spend your time doing? Gang of Five, 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 Gang of Five. Get the fuck out of here with this dumbass shit. But you know, people's Lord forgive me for my brash delivery. I keep doing it. I'm sorry. It's hard for me. Hard for me. So Wendell Young was one of 4 members of the 2017 9-member elected council to be arrested on criminal charges. Right? They got to bring that up here. And they got his whole life story here. I like Wendell Young. I like him. I like his politics. You know, I think that he had a positive impact on city council. I do. Things didn't always go his way, but I think that he overall, my humble opinion, had a positive impact on city council. That's what I think. And we shall see. We shall see. What do you think? 513. Jason Williams, that's his name. Thank you, Nat. Jason Williams. It's a week. I mean, I get it. You know, it was salacious, Gang of Five. I get it. So I understand how the media works. But in terms of substance, it was nothing, everything. It was nothing ever there. There was never anything there. This is all about, you know, people upset because the Democrats got a majority on city council. So rather than, you know, come up with ideas that people can really get behind and offering up candidates that people can really get behind, like Bessie Sunderman, nobody wanted that. The Republican Party could have did a whole lot better than Bessie Sunderman, but that's who they chose to roll with. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, you're right about that. Jason Williams and Sharon Coolidge were the ones reporting on this weak-ass case. The only reason they have jobs is because they're white. I don't know if that's the case. I won't say that. I won't say that's the only reason. Daryl writes, Nate, can you get Chris Smitherman in an interview? I'll reach out to him again, but I've reached out to Christopher Smitherman several times, and after a while, you just get tired of reaching out, and you get the message, should I say. You're like, oh, the answer is no. But I'll reach out again for sure. Christopher Smitherman don't want to come on our little show here. Our show is too little for him. Our audience isn't big enough for him to come on the show. He's above us. You know what I'm saying? He wants to talk with Brian Thomas, right? So let him do that. But I'll reach out, especially if he runs for, and I think he is, as we get closer to that race, for sure. I'll definitely reach out and I'll tell you what happens. Yeah, Christopher Smitherman, he used to be, he and I used to be great fake friends, meaning that he used to act like he was cool with me, but I knew he wasn't. So that's what I mean. And we used to be the greatest fake friends ever. And that was cool. You know, it was what it was. But you always know when people are authentic. You know when people real. And we shall see. Now, we'll say, he running for Hamilton County Commissioner. Ooh, Bessie? Well, I mean, Stephanie? Not Bessie. Stephanie? If you Samara Dumas, if you listening, you better get ready, homie. Get ready. You better strap up. Get ready. You got a fight on your hands. I could see it. Sheila Moore writes, good morning, choppers. Nate and Mrs. Ivy. What? Mrs.? What's up, Sheila? The missus getting some love this morning? Cool. So that's my take, man. I hope I never have to hear about this gang of 5-ish ever again. Hopefully this will be the end of it. I don't want anybody bringing this ish up anymore. It was a waste of damn time. It's not substantive. And, when people fall into these kind of traps and start echoing it, all they do is reduce themselves to be a pawn in somebody else's plot. That's all it is. Remember Black Russia? Black Russia and Fame. They was caping so hard for this. Oh, it was shadow government, and I used to do freedom of information requests, and I understand how important this is, and blah, 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 right? I'm like, bro, this is some dumbish. No, it's not. You're just saying that because you did a podcast with PG. Get the fuck out of here. This is some dumb-ish. There's nothing here. And now we find out, in fact, that there's nothing here because it all amounted to a $100 fine. Oh, my God. We could have just passed the collection plate and paid this fine months ago, years ago. I mean, think about that. A special prosecutor so that Wendell Young can pay a $100 fine. Like I told you, when it comes to the prosecution of black folks in Hamilton County, you can throw common sense out the window. It makes no sense, starting with Exhibit A, and that would be the sister, Tracy Hunter. They spent, $1 million? It was an unlimited amount of money they had to prosecute and investigate and go after this sister. Think about this brother that said after coronavirus, even though it made no sense whatsoever, it defied the rules of logic and also could have helped to spread COVID itself. Hamilton County prosecutor had this man locked up for 2 weeks because he said after coronavirus on the taxpayer dime during COVID, when we know that the jails were spreading COVID. Like I said, when it comes to going after black folks, makes no difference how much money we spend. Makes no difference. It's unlimited. I would like to know how much this special prosecutor got paid over the last year plus to investigate Wendell Young. And this is what it culminates in, a $100 fine. I'd like to know whether we're getting a real return on our investment. I'll bet you that Hamilton County special prosecutor, one of Joe Dieter's buddies, got paid a hell of a lot more than $100. I bet you he did. I bet you we into the tens of thousands of dollars. I could be wrong about that, but I like to know. 513-873-7134. Ridiculous. I mean, when it came to Tracy Hunter, man, it was unlimited funds. How much you need, Joe? Oh, you need 100,000? You need 500,000 to go after? Sure, we got you. Hamilton County Commissioner. Sure, blank check. Blank check. Huh? You should have used some of that to go after Ray Tensing with a third trial. I don't care how many times they had to trial him. Keep trying him until you get him. But we didn't want to do that, though. Ridiculous. Brent writes, the whole Gang of Five sounds like the Cincinnati version of the endless Benghazi hearings when the Republicans were in charge of the Congress. It was very similar. They was just stunting. They found a little bit of something to run with. Oh, we got something. Ooh, lordy, we got something, Gang of Five. Ooh, did you hear? Quorum, right? They had something to run with, and they rode that shit for the longest. It's like every week somebody was talking about or writing about the damn Gang of Five. And I'm asking the question, like, why do I care about this? Why should we care about this? I'm hard working. I'm trying to put food on the table. I'm trying to make sure I can create a better life for my children. Why should I care about this? Nobody could ever answer the question. Well, sunshine laws, Nate. You know, uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Gang of Five was Smitherman's wet dream. Erica writes, bye, Betsy. Betsy Huckabee Sunderman. Gladys writes, a gang of eight, right. A gang of eight. I mean, these Republicans, I know they is pissed like, damn, we thought we was going to convince people not to vote for the Democrats this time. That didn't work. That did not work. Oh, my God. They was backing David Mann, too. That didn't work. See, the problem with the Republican Party locally is that y'all not offering anything of quality. If you offered quality candidates with quality ideas that was about some real ish, they could win. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all want to run these monkey ass Trump Tanzi types. Ass is not real. Oh, Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. There it is. I'll learn my lesson one of these days. And so Cincinnati voters are like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Anthony Rice, morning shop. Speaking of politics, I've been reading that, the Democrats have a decision to make as it relates to who is going to replace Avtat Puraval, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Good morning to you, Anthony. Crystal writes, good morning. Good morning, Crystal. Good to see you. Tracy writes, hi. Andrea writes, hello, all. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Eloise is in the house. She writes, good morning. Happy Thursday. What's up, Elo? May writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Grand Risings, everybody. Kelly writes, good morning. Charles writes, good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Now, I'm going to get back to our primary, or should I say our cover topic for this morning. I won't say primary because sometimes things change, but Ethan Crumbley, he's 15 years old. He's going to be charged as an adult. 4 students die in a deadly rampage at his high school, about 30 miles north, I believe, of Detroit. And authorities at this point are saying that he emerged from a bathroom inside of the high school and just started randomly shooting people. And what I'd like to know is, we all know that right now there's a debate about whether teachers should be armed. So think about your history teacher, and your history teacher, Mr. Ivey, he's got a Glock tucked under his dad's sweater, right? Or you got your physical education teacher, and everybody know that the physical education teachers are the craziest teachers in the school. It's 2 people you don't want to mess with in a school building. It's the phys ed teacher and the lunch ladies. You don't want to mess with either one of those kind of folks. They'll F you up. They'll F you up real quick. All of the gym teachers that I used to know and work with were all crazy. All of them. All of them. Good people, but crazy. I mean, they'll cut you. You don't mess with the gym teacher. Because a gym teacher, you got to think, man, gym teachers got the whole facility. Their offices are usually in the gym. They're a part of the school, but I can see how, and from their standpoint, they kind of feel like they're like an island onto themselves. I don't know about you, but in my in my experience, like coming through public schools, the craziest people, the people you never really wanted to mess with, was the gym teachers and the lunch ladies. Them lunch ladies will smack your face. They'll smack you. And then they'll square with your mom and dad when they come down there. Them lunch ladies, you don't play in the lunch ladies. You know what I'm saying? I always got cool with the lunch ladies. You know what I'm saying? Me and the lunch lady was like this. I used to get 2 plates. Oh, man, it was so great. Woo, man. I'll say it again, man. Props to CPS. Y'all struggling to create students that are ready for college, meaning they're going to graduate from college. Y'all struggling with that, man, but woo, a cheese pizza? Y'all are magnificent. The cheese pizzas, the chicken patties, mwah, mwah. It's like a thing of art. It's like a work of art, man. Whew. Used to get 2 chicken patties, man, on chicken patty day because I was cool with the lunch lady. She's like, I got you, Nate. I'm like, yeah. Yes, buddy. Nothing like it. Man, I'm telling you, I'm just thinking back here. What else was good, man? The chicken patty and the cheese pizza. That's pretty top flight right there. Everything else was hit or miss. Hit or miss. Tiffany writes, finally, a beautiful morning out getting my walk in. Get your walk in, folks, man. Listen, it's funny when you share like parts of yourself. Like, it's funny how some people take it. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but my attitude about things is I tell people, I share my gospel, I share what my testimony is, and then that's on you. What you do with your body or you don't do, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it, Tiffany. Get that walk in, man. Get it in. I'll be out there as soon as the show is over. You see a tall brother who looks kind of like me with this on, that'll be me walking up and down Sycamore Hill. I love to walk down Sycamore Hill, walk downtown, walk around and walk back up Sycamore Hill, man. It's a hell of a workout. Just walking it at a fast pace. Anthony writes, talking about charging his parents too. Now, yeah, I heard that. Or not I heard it, but I read it. So, yeah, Ethan Crumley, there's some real conversation from the prosecutors about charging his parents. And I don't know why. And get this, there were 1 or 2 private security guards working at the school when it happened. So I'll be honest with you. I don't believe that having teachers with concealed weapons is going to dissuade anybody from wanting to commit a shooting. Okay, I don't believe that one bit. If somebody has in their head that they want to commit a mass shooting at the school, the fact that there may or may not be either security guards there or whatever, or teachers with weapons, is not going to dissuade them at all. And I think the facts bear that to be true. Here's the next part of the question, though. If you have armed teachers, armed administrators at a school, you have an active shooter event taking place at your school, do you believe that having armed teachers and or armed administrators can help save lives? I don't believe it can dissuade anybody, right? Because if you get in your head, I'm going to take my weapon to school and kill a lot of people and shoot a lot of people, then that's what you're going to do. But do you believe that it will save lives? And I'll be honest with you, yes and no. It depends. Yes and no, it depends. Like, if you got an active shooter and when they pull out the weapon, they just happen to be close to a classroom or close to a teacher or administrator who is concealed and carrying a weapon, and then that teacher or administrator can act in the moment, then maybe, who knows? They might miss and kill some other people. I don't know. I think that we should spend some time thinking about that as a society. I think as a society, when we send our kids to these schools and we know these schools got corrupt individuals and that the environment from time to time might be a place where it makes kids feel a certain kind of way, bullying and things like that. I think that we should spend some time thinking about, okay, so what do we do during an active shooter event? I think that the majority of our energy and resources and time should be spent upon prevention, like creating the kind of environment where children or students' issues can be identified and addressed so it never goes that way, right? I think that's where we got to spend, you know, a lot of that energy because, it's some people that's not going to be bullied. There's some people that if they get bullied to a certain degree, they're going to react violently. And there are some teachers and administrators that don't work fast enough. They don't deal with bullying fast enough and consistently enough to address the issue. They know bullying is an issue. They're aware of it. There's certain things that are not going to happen in front of them. But when things do happen, they don't take it and deal with it to the nth degree, right? And so you got students that feel like, damn, nobody cares. I got to fend for myself. I got to do what I got to do. That's the more logical base of it. Where it's hard to predict is when you got people that's got mental issues or emotional issues that you really can't see. This young dude, his name is Ethan Crumbly, who allegedly committed these crimes. Apparently, he was just 3 hours before that dealing with a situation where he was sitting down with administrators face to face because of his classroom behavior. So what was going on? Was he threatening in the classroom? We don't know. Was he a bully in the classroom? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know the details. We just know what we know. That's it. Apparently, he got flagged for behavior in the classroom, a sophomore. And high school is tough. High school is tough. We got a daughter in high school right now, and it's tough. It's tough in every way. And I'm so far removed from high school that I don't remember everything. The beginning of my high school career was straight trash. It was not good. You know what I'm saying? But the last couple of years, my last 2 years of high school, it was great. You know what I'm saying? I was walking on water. It was beautiful. Those first 2 years, the last 2 years, A1. I'll have no complaints. I had a great high school experience, my last 2 years of high school. You know what I'm saying? So I don't identify completely with being in high school and not being happy. I mean, I can understand on some levels, but Medium Buddha is in the 11th grade and she's dealing with all the stuff the 11th graders are dealing. Number one, she's dealing with her own expectations and the high expectations of her father and her mother, because her father gets on her back all the time about her grades and keeping her focused. She had a job for a little while. It didn't end too well. You know what I'm saying? She got let go from her job. And our attitude about that was, it's a learning lesson. We had serious doubts about her being able to maintain a job with everything else she's got going on anyway. So, when she ended up moving away from the job, we just kind of felt like we weren't surprised by it. You know what I'm saying? Focus on them academics, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But it's a learning lesson. She'll learn from it, hopefully. And she was juggling all these things, extracurricular. She don't really it's not enough time in the day, for busy high schoolers. They just don't have enough time in the day to study, to be social, for extracurricular activities. And then they're thinking about being, new adults. She's a young adult. So she's trying to figure out what her life is going to be like. At the same time, she got all these things happening with her hormones and, she's talking about boys and all this kind of stuff. So we forget how difficult high school can be. We really do. High school is a monster. Woo, high school is a monster. Would I go back to high school? No, I would not. If I could go back to anything, and I don't really want to go back anywhere, I would go back to college. I would relive my college years. But high school, I don't want no parts of it. You're not an adult. People telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? College, whoo, now you're an adult. You're doing what you want to do. So much better. So much better. Let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. This is your West Side Connection, your number one fan, Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black, not Democrat. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing excellent, sir. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. I just wanted to call in and share some joy that I just achieved from my little individual venture that I started earlier this year. And that was a movement that you inspired me to do, Mr. Ivey. And that movement was the Black Not Democrat Twitter account because, of course, Drop Squad 52 got banned. So I started the Black Not Democrat podcast, also known as Drop Squad 52. And I started a podcast. And yesterday, Mr. Ivey, I reached a milestone. 900 total plays on the Black Not Democrat podcast, 78 episodes in season 1. Now, Mr. Ivey, what's that?
I said, I love it, man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, sir. My goal was to try to get 1,000 people to play my podcast. I didn't know how all this was going to turn out. You were kind of like my guy. Obviously, I knew I wasn't as good as you because you're a professional. This is what you do. This is your thing. But it was just a hobby for me. And if you know, well, I think you know, Mr. Ivey, I don't like appearing in front of the camera. Everything that people know about Drop Squad 52 is from my voice. And I put a few pictures out there, but I put a picture on your Twitter feed this morning of my referee days just for Brian, because I don't know if he follows you. I put it up there just for Brian to let him know that I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to basketball. But I just wanted to share that with you, Mr. Ivey, that I reached that milestone, 900 total plays. And it's not easy. I'm telling you, Mr. Ivey, you make it look easy, bro. You have to possess a special kind of chip. Not like the cone chip, but you have to possess a special kind of chip, Mr. Ivey, to sit and talk for 2 hours. You have that. You possess that God-given ability. I can't do it. It's hard for me to put together 20 minutes of talking, but anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, Mr. Ivey. And season 2 will be starting next year in year 2 of the presidency of Sleepy Joe Biden. And that was kind of my goal, is to start my podcast the first year of the Democrat presidency of Joe Biden, and then try to take it all the way through his 4 years if he can make it. So I'll be starting season 2 at the beginning of 2022. So thank you for having me and inspiring me, Mr. Ivey. A lot of people are going to be coming up with these New Year's resolutions and things that they should have done. But all it takes is that first step, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So get started and finish strong. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to check it. I'm out. Have a good one, Mr. Ivey.
You too, sir. Have a great day. I'll say a great weekend. Have a great day. That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. Happy your venture is going the way you wanted to do. That's great to hear, man. Jerica's in the house. What's up, sis? She writes, hola, beautiful black people and the others too. Good morning to you. Lannis is in the house. He writes, good morning, brother Nathan Ivey. Good morning to you. Jane is in the house. Good morning, Jane. Kevin writes, good morning, choppers. Brent writes, Nathan, your show's listeners and viewership is too black for the demographic that Smitherman is trying to reach. Could be. I don't think that. We're just small potatoes to him. I get it. Brandy writes, good morning. Carmiar1 writes, hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. Right. You talking about that special prosecutor? I don't know if it's in the hundreds of thousands, but definitely in the tens of thousands. He did all of that just so Wendell Young can pay a $100 fine. That's ridiculous. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning.
It's Mace.
What's up, Mace?
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
It's strange. Didn't I tell you that's what he was doing? He's just like a skunk. He told you we had 900 people, and he was trying to, and what he didn't get to get people to follow him. And why didn't he say something about your topic that you have for today? That's strange. But he had a whole lot to say with somebody that looked like him. He'll have a whole lot to say, but whatever happened in the school, that should have been a conversation for him too. But no, he want to act like he's Santa Claus and nothing's happening and the reindeers are all around him and different things. So that's all I have to say. I was right. Drop. That's what you were doing over in Nathan's house, trying to stir up some stuff, trying to make some more ducks in for his pocket, trying to use people. You don't use people. And what I call them, the not Democrat. What I call them, the no vote, how do I say it? The no people party. That's what they are, because everything is no. So you have a good one.
You too, Maze. Take it easy. You know, Drop got him a nemesis. Maze is all over him. And we haven't heard from Danita in a while. And I've kind of stayed away from this because I like Danita. And I hope she's doing well. I did see something in the news. I hope it's not true. I do. I don't know Danita like that. I know she is down for the show. Her and her husband and her family, they really enjoy the show. So, Danita, if you're listening, you already know. We got your back. And I hope things work out. Yeah, I saw something on the news, and I hope it's not true. But I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks. But you know me, I have to speak to everything. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Just because something in the news don't mean it's necessarily true. And we shall see. Good morning to you. Derek writes, the gaslighting is strong in Drop. It's like the Force. Can we have a week without listening to Drop's nonsense? I don't think so. TNT writes, inspiring innovator Nathan Ivey. I appreciate it. Yo writes, and winners focus on winning, Drop. What about metal detectors? I'm pro metal detector. I'm pro metal detector at schools. Everybody has to walk through it. But the problem is everyone walking through the metal detectors at the schools? That's the problem. Like at my daughter's school, she's told me I think she told me they have them, but they don't always use them. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having them if you don't use them? I think in modern day high schools, every kid as they walk into the school building should walk through a metal detector. And there should be somebody, an attendant who's right there to monitor it every time, in and out, because guns are too available. And mental illness and emotional not wellness is at an all-time high. You know, bad parenting is at an all-time high. Narcissism is at an all-time high. All these factors are happening right now, and we got to protect our schools. And I'm just not for arming. I don't think arming teachers makes anything better. Like, show me an example. Somebody show me, and it may be out there, but show me an example. Send me a link where there was an active shooter on a school, and because you had armed teachers or armed administrators, lives were saved. Show me that. I've never seen that before. I see T. Greg's here, man. I was just talking about you, man. You spent all that time, T. Greg, talking about the Gang of Five and Wendell Young, and nothing came from it. All that time and money, and nothing came from it. All that time and money, nothing came from it. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. Good to see you, Sister Iris, as always. Drop. Jericho writes, Maze on here sounded like Blade. Is that right? Oh, man. Brandy writes, it's true. Angela writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Let me jump aside the original Chop Shop. Ray writes, good risings all. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Has any black organization put in to get some of that forfeiture bread? You talking about from the Hamilton County prosecutor's office? I don't know. Let me remind you one more time. I want to make sure I put this on your radar screen because you've got a great opportunity coming up. The Ohio Kings versus the Cincinnati Movement. That's this Saturday, December 4th at 6 p.m. Now, they play their home games at the Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, their gymnasium. And that's at 3520 Central Parkway here in beautiful Cincinnati. If you're interested, tickets are $10 for general admission and $20 for courtside VIP. Now, what do you get with courtside VIP? Well, you get courtside, which, depending on, how you like to go to basketball games, can be the best seats in the house. You're right up there up close, all the action. And you also get free concessions as well. Kids 12 and under get in free when accompanied by an adult. And they'll also be giving out free haircuts for kids. So think about this from a family perspective. You got kids 12 and under, they get in free. You only got to pay for mom and dad, or mom and or dad, depending on the scenario. And, you know, your son need a shape up. We got you. We got you. Get your little shape up in. Boom. Kill two stones with two birds with one stone. Boom. Some family time. You get out the house. And at the same time, son can get his hair lined up, get it taken care of. Sounds like a good time to me. Masks are required. I'll say it again. Masks are required. I do not know whether they'll have masks in case you forget, but masks are required. These days, man, we got 4-5 masks in the car. We be using them interchangeably between myself and my wife. I'll put a mask on. The mask smell just like her. I'm like, damn, this is her mask. I'll rock it anyway. I mean, I figure anything she got, I'm going to get anyway. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. That's this Saturday, December the 4th at 6 p.m. General admission is $10. Courtside VIP is $20. And you can tap in ohio-kings.ticketbud.com. I also believe you can buy tickets at the event the day of. So check that out. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Drop Right, shout out to the alt middle and their affiliates. There is no more alt middle. They broke up over a woman. Fame and T-Grag broke up the alt middle over a woman. A woman was the reason why the city of Troy was destroyed, as I understand it. And it's the reason why the alt middle broke up. So they're no longer together, Drop. Anthony writes, if you have more than one, somebody can open the door and let the other in. They could. Yo writes, Nate, kids can pass things through windows. It's bad. It's sad, but true. Yes, they can. Angela writes, they also need to search backpacks. Courtney writes, no, they are not using the detectors, and when they do, it lights up like a Christmas tree, and the security lets the kids through. I've seen it with my own eyes. This will change once something, God forbid, happens in our school. Courtney, I've heard the same thing. You talking about CPS? I've heard the same thing about CPS, that they're very, very lax with the metal detectors. And you're right. If somebody, and I don't even want to say this, but let's just say something tragically happens with CPS school. I don't even want to talk no shit like that up. I don't even want to talk nothing like that up. But let's say something like that does happen. You're right. That's when everybody's going to start moving fast. And, oh, we got to do this. We got to do that. I just say do what you got to do beforehand. That's what I say. Handle your business beforehand. Simple as that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Where is T-Grag? Where is Fame? I'm calling y'all out. Y'all wasted years and years and years of call time talking about the Gang of Five. Now the Gang of Five is over. Cincinnati voters said, you know what? Gang of Five doesn't sound as good as Gang of Eight. And they gave the Democrats 3 more seats. So now they got a super duper uber majority. And Wendell Young, for all the time and money and resources that were wasted, he only had to pay a $100 fine. That was it. And you had Bessie Sunderman out here talking about how he needs to resign, and she didn't even get reelected. So the Cincinnati voters rejected all of that nonsense. They said, yo, not only do we reject the fact that we think the Democrats are bad for council, we're going to give you 3 more seats. And oh, by the way, some of you loudmouth Republicans, the Republican who had the biggest mouth about this on city council is really Christopher Smitherman, but he's an independent. Was Bessie Sunderman was a close second. And guess what? She didn't get elected. And then the mayoral candidate that was out here on Republican light type stuff, he didn't get elected. He got smashed. So the voters rejected all of that nonsense. And I don't want you brothers to hide from it. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, comrade.
Black Russia. Good morning.
Hey, you starting rumors, bro.
What?
Yeah. What you talking about some woman, bro? I don't know what you talking about.
That's my theory.
Unless that's your theory. Okay, then say it's your theory then, bro. So,
I just said that's my theory.
You was, all right, that's cool. But you were saying that like you had some authority on that. I'm like, hold on, bro.
Well, I feel strong enough. Well, listen, when I asked you and Fame why y'all broke up, I can't remember who I asked first. I can't remember if it was you or it was him. But whoever it was said that y'all broke up over politics.
And why y'all keep saying break up? Think we wasn't together?
Y'all was together. Y'all was the alt middle.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all was together. Now you want to act like y'all wasn't together. See, I know this is deeply personal because now you're acting like y'all wasn't together. See, you telling me something there.
When you saying together, bro, I'm just saying it just sounds creepy, bro. Like okay, we were affiliated. I'm just saying you don't do that. We were affiliated in terms of thought. That was it.
Yeah, you trying to bury the headline. I'm not gonna let you do that, Black Russian. No. So like I said, y'all was affiliated, y'all was a thing, and now y'all not. And you and Fame told me it was because one of you was back in David Mann and he was back in Abtab Purival. Isn't that what y'all told me?
Yeah,
that's a lie though.
That's
not true. That ain't true.
How do you know what? Hold on. How do you know it's true or not true, bro?
Because I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man who has spider senses, and I can read situations very, very well. And I don't believe that one bit. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. I told you it was only three reasons why y'all broke up. It was over politics, money, or a woman. It wasn't over politics. I don't believe that. If it was over money, then whoever was owed the money would have already said it, and neither one of y'all said that. So it must be a woman. It's just it's deduction. That's it. You want to tell us a story?
It's the former, bro. It ain't the latter. Because the reality is this, bro. When it comes to women, I ain't out here breaking up, doing that stuff with women, bro. Like, hey, I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? If it came down to women, it wouldn't even be no big deal, bro. I don't get out here and beef with dudes over women.
What?
I keep it pushing.
So who is this woman that broke y'all up, man? Was she your woman, somebody you was dating, or somebody he was dating? Tell me the whole.
You really pressing this, bro? I ain't dated no woman that the gentleman may or may not have been interested in. Nobody's out here sharing women, bro. There's too many women out here to be doing that. I don't get down like that.
I didn't ask you if you were sharing women. I said, who is this woman? Was she affiliated with you first, or was she affiliated with him first? Speaking of Fame,
there's no woman involved, bro.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. This is how rumors get started, bro. Just saying, bro. Just be careful, man. You messing with people's lives, bro.
Brother, my spider sense is tingling like crazy. I mean, I hear your resistance, but I don't believe you at all. Not one bit. And the more you talk about it, the more I'm convinced of it.
You ask you look, first off, you put it out here that was about a woman, number one. Number two, you pressing me about it. I ain't pressing you, but I'm just calling to say, hey, let's not start rumors, innuendo. I mean, you can have your theory, that's cool, but you got the airways, bro. Like, you out here like, oh, people beefing over women. Like, come on, bro. Like, for real. Like, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Stop.
Okay. If you say
so. Hey, the woman I deal with wouldn't even deal with that gentleman, okay? So let's just put it like that. We'll put it where it's at.
So the type of women you deal with wouldn't deal with Fame is what you're saying. They wouldn't deal with Fame.
I can say that. I can say that unequivocally. And this ain't about the women, though. I'm just letting you know, since we don't have this little bit of back and forth about it, we don't deal with the same type of women. So it's not even about the woman.
Okay.
Like, my taste is totally different.
Okay. You say so. So yeah, I'm even more convinced now. But okay, bro. I know you don't want to talk. I know it's sensitive and you don't want to put the sister. Is it a sister?
Bro, we just covered this.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna get you with that one. But okay, man, if you don't want to put her out there, I can understand that. You definitely want to put her out there.
What? Hold on, put who out here, bro? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Okay.
You
I'm gonna back away.
I'm
not gonna keep beating a dead horse. I'm gonna move on. But I'm glad you called in, man, because you were dead wrong, homie. And I tried to tell you, you spent years and years and years running around kissing John Cranley's ass and running around kissing Christopher Smitherman's ass and run around kissing, the remnants of Coast. Your lips was all over they tailbone about this text message and stuff. And I told you from the beginning there was nothing there. And now years later, there was nothing there, and all Wendell Young is getting is he has to pay a $100 fine. And the voters completely rejected this idea that the Democrats were bad for counsel. In fact, they gave him a gang of 8. And I'd like to know how you feel about that.
Well, Wendell Young got convicted. So, of criminal activity, period. So, in terms of saying that this stuff was drug out, justice was served in that regard. All right. So, number 2, in terms of city council, it's just one of those situations where, how do I feel about council? I mean, I like some of the Democrats. I never said I don't like none of the Democrats. Like, I like Scotty Johnson. I think he's going to be doing good. Victoria Parks is good. Hey, elections have, results, and it is what it is. I'm not terribly upset that AFTAB won. I mean, AFTAB cool. I don't feel no type of way, bro. For real.
Are you ready to admit that whole text messaging thing was nothing but it was politically motivated? There was no real substance there. Are you ready to admit that?
Absolutely not. Because it overshadowed the entire term of council from 2017 to this point. So to say it was just absolutely nothing is just that's not true. Taxpayers pay hundreds of thousands of dollars because people can't count to 5 when it comes to the council members. So, hey, the reality is it was a big deal. It overshadowed the work of council. So no, I'm not going to say it was no big deal. I'll tell you what's interesting though is I want Greg Lester to run against Steve Shabbat because he's going to run the same playbook.
Oh, is that the rumor now that Greg Landsman might run against Steve Shabbat? Why would he do that? And he just got reelected to city council. Because
that's what politicians do, Nathan Ivey. They always get elected. You look for the next job. What AFTAB does, what all these politicians do. Hey, it's the nature of the beast.
I don't know if that would be a smart move for Greg. Does Greg have? Is he from that county? Does he have any roots there?
What county?
You talking about running against Shabbat, right?
Right, for Congress.
Oh, for Congress. Okay, I'm sorry, I got mixed up a little bit.
No.
I don't know. Again, Greg had to make his own decisions. He's far into that world than I do. But as I sit here, I'm like, I just don't see it. But stranger things have happened.
The Democrats are recruiting him hard. He used to work for Pelosi, so he got DC connections in that regard. Yeah. He got DC money that he can get. Yeah. But I mean, he running for Congress, bro. He just got reelected. Now he running for Congress. It's just the nature of these politicians.
Has he announced he's running for Congress?
Of course he ain't announced it yet. Okay. So he just got reelected. But he's coming, bro. Come on, man. Look, ears to the street, bro. He's going to run for Congress. Democrats are pressing him hard. It's like one of the only people on council right now who got a direct connection right now to Nancy Pelosi right now. He raises over $100,000 every time. He's going to run for Congress, bro. Democrats ain't got nobody to run against Shabbat. Everybody's scared of Shabbat. So they're going to trot Greg Lansman out there. Why? Just watch what I say. Happens. Yeah. But other than that, comrade, I'm kicking back watching college football, man. I ain't doing a whole lot of nothing, man. Relax. Right, and just watch out for the rumors. Watch your language, bro. Nobody's out here fighting over women, bro. Nobody out here fighting over women. It's too many women out here to be fighting over women. It's too many of them. What they got is like 2-1, 3-1 out here. Come on, bro.
So you telling me that you and Fame did not fall out over a woman?
We did not fall out with no women. No. The answer is no. Hell, it's a hell no for me. I ain't falling out with no dudes over no females.
Did he fall out of you? Did he fall out with you over a woman?
You'll have to ask him that one.
Aha. Brother, listen, man. Sometimes you know you when you don't know. And I already know, man. It's okay. Hey, bro.
Look.
Whoever she was,
I'll say my piece.
She ain't worth y'all friendship and y'all brotherhood. That's all I'll
say. Bro, look. Look. Talk show host. I don't fall out over females. It just doesn't happen. On my end, look at me, bro. I can go out here and get whoever I want.
Mm-hmm. So you took Fame's woman. So Fame, you start talking to a woman that Fame was already affiliated with.
You got to talk to Fame about that one. I don't have no clue about that. All I know is I don't fall out over women. For me, it's always on to the next one.
I get it. I'm starting to put the picture together. Thank you so much for the call this morning. I appreciate it.
All right, comrade.
Yep, most def. Take it easy. Interesting, man. Y'all gonna let a woman break y'all up, man? Damn. Now I know for sure. And Fame tried to lie to me. You tried to lie to your brother. Like I said, man, I'm grown. Very grown. I don't take a whole lot for me to read a situation. Y'all, the alt middle breaks up after being together for 4 years. Y'all just break up mysteriously. Talking about something. You broke up over Avtab and David Mann. I don't know. Nobody believes that. Avtab and David Mann broke up y'all brotherhood, y'all alliance. You never seen the Super Friends break up over anything like that. Now, Batman and Superman might go at odds over Wonder Woman. They might have both wanted Wonder Woman. That might break up the Super Friends, but y'all not gonna break up over no politics. I don't believe it. If it was about money, that's not how. When somebody's owed money, that's not how they act. They act differently. I know how people act when they got an issue over money. That's not it. So it has to be a woman. And he basically confirmed today. He said, "Ask Fame." Now, when I ask Fame, watch it. He gonna get all in his feelings and start cursing. He gonna start talking about the Hot Mic podcast with me and PG. I didn't like your podcast. You know, you're gonna do all that stuff. He thinks that bothers me. It don't bother me at all. Fame, brother Fame, are you out there? Deborah writes, women are worth all the smoke. No, they not. No, they not. No, they not. No, they not. Whoever a woman chooses or whoever a woman chooses, period. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Did she choose a certain man? That's who she chooses. That's it. How you gonna fight over what a woman, another person chooses to do with their body or their life? No fights. Let me see. Daryl writes, now we'll hear from the the Wolf Man. Yeah. Well, he may not call in today. Let me see. Fame had to lie to you, Nate. BR stole his girl, huh? Omar. Omar, man, quit pulling my card, man. Quit pulling my card. He says, Nate is super giddy about the disbanding of the 72-win Bulls of the Chop Shop. Alt middle is forever. I'm not giddy like that, man. It's just something interesting to talk about. I'm not giddy about. I want to see my brothers come together, to be honest with you. You funny. You wild for that, Flo Manny. You don't pull my card, man. Put my card back in the deck. Put my card back in the deck, man. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What the hell is going on here?
What's up, brother Fame?
Yeah, why are you talking about me? And I'm not even actively engaged in the show, and y'all discussing me. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I was talking to your brother, man, Black Russia, about y'all breaking up, man. And he basically tacitly confirmed my theory that y'all broke up over a woman. He told me I should ask you. He said he don't fall out over women. I gotta ask you. So
he really said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he just, because I didn't believe that BS you told me about y'all breaking up over Avtab. I never believed that.
He really said that to you
on
these records.
He just said it.
Okay.
He just said it.
I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and listen and deal with it because I thought I made it clear. I thought I made it clear that my name shouldn't be discussed.
You don't run shit.
No, I thought I made it clear. Like if you ask all middle questions, just step around them.
We don't care about what you thought made clear.
I thought I made that clear. I said my piece as far as that.
Oh, you don't want to talk about it. Okay, brother.
No, I mean, I don't know what he said, but if he tried to make me look unsavory in any way, we're going to have to deal with that. That's another set of issues.
I wouldn't say he made you look unsavory. I would say he tacitly confirmed my theory that you and him broke up.
Did he tacitly confirming that, tacitly disrespect me? I thought I made it clear. Don't discuss the alt middle. Step around the question. Don't fall into the rabbit hole.
You think you are? We don't care about what you said. Don't talk about. We talk about what
I'm protecting I'm protecting my baby.
I'm protecting
just like
your
you
baby
would protect
too.
Sin Digital, just like you would protect Sin Digital Media.
Okay, I'm protecting you too, bro.
I don't need people answering questions about my baby.
So who is this woman?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm dead ass serious.
All
Maybe he was trying to joke with you or whatever, but I appreciate it. I don't think it's funny.
Okay.
I thought I caught it here. Clearly made it clear, like, bro, just, I would just sidestep the question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you.
But, y'all do y'all. Now, I saw you at the beginning of the show talking about how Wendell Young is, that was a big nothing burger. A city councilman was convicted while in office.
It was a waste of time.
I don't know how that's nothing.
Thing that you was a part of.
Nathan, please stop.
Yes,
At
sir.
the end of the day, a city councilman was convicted of a crime while in office. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, then that's it. That's all.
Yes. No, that's not all.
That's all. For you, for you to say, it's not that big a deal.
After all
you sound like a white supremacist. You sound like a white supremacist.
And matter of
fact, you sound like a white supremacist.
You was the same person, sir, who was trying to legitimize all of this. This complete waste of taxpayer dollars.
Can I finish my
energy? And all it came down to is Wendell Young had to pay a $100 fine. We could have chipped in and paid this at the beginning and saved all that time and energy that was wasted.
You know what you sound like? You sound like John the White Wolf yesterday saying that cop shouldn't go to jail because she spent most of her career being a good cop. And just this one incident shouldn't put her in jail. That's what you sound like trying to qualify this Wendell Young bullshit.
I don't sound anything like that.
We start calling you Nathan the White Wolf. White Wolf.
I mean,
that's who you are.
You can say that if you want to. It would make a lot of
you
sense.
You sound like a white supremacist. You sound like a white supremacist trying to say George Floyd deserved to die because he was trying to flee somebody out of $20.
You sound like you're trying to bury the
lead.
You
keep trying to qualify stuff. You keep trying to qualify stuff. A city councilman was convicted. That's all.
The reality is, sir.
That's all. I don't care how much you love this man.
There was nothing to the whole gang of. You allowed yourself.
If there was nothing to it, then why does the city councilman have a conviction,
sir, to be a pawn in a greater plot that had more to do with politics than anything about the voters and taxpayers and citizens whatsoever. You allowed yourself to get swept away with that nonsense, all for Wendell Young to pay a $100 fine.
That's a city councilman was convicted. I don't care. I didn't write the law.
It's just like why you can't charge.
Not even
it's just like why council in a month.
It's just the same as being hard to charge.
He won't even
convict
be on
a cop
city
of murder
in a month. He's
it's just like being too hard to convict it's too hard to convict a cop of murder because the standard's just too bizarre. Same thing with this. I didn't write this standard for the city councilman. All I know is that this dickhead has a conviction. That's all. There's nothing else to qualify. Okay? Now, I don't believe in charging parents for. Okay, we're just going to have to agree to disagree. We're just going to have to agree to disagree.
We can always agree to disagree. Absolutely, we can do that.
Now, I don't believe in arming teachers at all. Because for one, the kids will know which teachers are armed.
Right.
And a school shooter is set up, under that, knowing which teachers are armed. But more importantly, the type of person who's going to shoot up a school, they kind of want that chaos and a macabre scene. They want to shoot out. They want to go out like De Niro in Heat, that last scene. You know what I'm saying? They want something like that. So like you would almost be encouraging it on some level. Or, I think that would be one of the unintended consequences is there'll be more shootouts if you arm teachers. It's kind of the same thing with charging their parents. These kids are probably already upset at their parents for one reason or another. So they're like, I'll go to school, get in a shootout, and then my parents got to deal with the aftermath because I'll be either dead or in jail. Now they've got a felony conviction on them or whatever. You got that might be an unintended consequence. Got to be careful of what we're doing here with these school shootings. These are just some fragile kids that we got to try to catch early. Monitor their social media more. Make social media use more. I don't know. I think that would be too much of an intrusion to make it more punishable in school, but you just got to monitor it more somehow. But That's all I got. I don't think you should really continue to discuss the alt middle if I'm not around. Keep my kid's name out of your mouth. Is that all right?
I think you know the answer to that.
Keep my kid's name out of your mouth. And sports
Or
betting
what?
will be approved next week. Sports betting will be approved next week. You better book you some interview time, or you won't be able to get me. Unless you know another expert, you can bring him on. But until then, you'll have to book me. The calendar is filling up quickly. Interviews all day Thursday. Friday's your last day. I'll holler at you. Oh!
Appreciate the call. Appreciate it. I think we got our answer there. Appreciate it. I gave you an opportunity. I gave you an opportunity to explain yourself, Fame, because you was one of the main voices on this show that was talking about the Gang of Five and text messages and shadow government. And as I said, you spent all that time and energy, all of that resources and time and talk was spent so that Wendell Young could pay a $100 fine. Special prosecutor, so that Wendell Young could pay a $100 fine. This was all about. The judge pointed out that the plea deal came because the case was so weak. The special prosecutor wouldn't even talk with the media afterward because, you know, he just robbed Hamilton County, basically. That was the real crime. The real crime is that we just paid a special prosecutor, Pat Hanley, probably tens of thousands of dollars to investigate something that was never really any something there. And like I said, only in Cincinnati, Hamilton County. Black people don't get jobs like that in Cincinnati, Hamilton County. When black people get jobs, they got to work for them. When black people get jobs, they got to work hard. They got to be over-credentialed in Hamilton County. White folks get these kind of jobs where they just give you thousands of dollars to do nothing. Wendell Young admits that he deleted text messages. So then they appoint a special prosecutor to investigate whether Wendell Young deleted text messages. He told you he did. What else is there to talk about? I told you, this is what I did. You notice there was no special prosecutor to investigate when the mayor, John Cranley, said that he dropped his phone into a hot tub and destroyed all his text messages. That don't destroy your text message. You still get them from the service provider. Hell, the people that provide ours, we can go to our account and look at our text messages and who said what. You don't need your phone to do that. But I guess that was a long time ago and technology is different now, right? For a man that's term limited off of city council anyway, he's not even going to be on city council. The man had a medical emergency. He's been sick for the last year and a half. Wendell Young had a medical emergency. He damn near died. But, you know, some people in this city, in this county, love to put a target on people's backs. They love it. We love it. We love to put a target, just like they used to put a target on their sister's back who owned mahoganies. Oh, the macaroni and cheese was cold. This ain't like my grandmama's macaroni and cheese. You know, this idiotic-ish that people were saying to her. You had black journalists like my homegirl, Kathy White Wilson, who I have nothing but respect for Kathy White Wilson. I got nothing but love that sister, man. So smart, intelligent, and strong. I love that shit. But that article that she wrote in CDB magazine talking about mahogany, she was dead wrong for that. And she hadn't even been to the restaurant. It's amazing how this city acts sometime, man, with certain people. But things is changing. Things is changing. Let's talk about Omicron. And that is not a new Transformer movie. Transformers 10, the Omicron affair. It's not. Omicron is the name of the latest variant of COVID-19. And everybody's supposed to be afraid of it. And I read that they got the first confirmed person with Omicron. The CDC confirmed the first case of COVID-19 Omicron variant in the United States. And as I understand it, it was in California. It's in California where drop is. It might be close to drop. So, again, we just are not built for this, man. We really aren't. We are not built to deal with things like COVID-19. Human beings, modern day human beings, are not built to deal with stuff like that. Like, we got to work together and sacrifice, the S word, sacrifice for the greater good. Who's got time for that? We're not built for that right now. We are built for narcissism. That's what we're built for. We're built for self-entitlement, self-aggrandizement, self-enrichment, self-fulfillment. That's what we're built for. Modern day human beings, we're not built for sacrificing. Altruism, what the fuck is that? Greater good? We're not built for none of that. That's why it's so difficult for us Americans to deal with COVID-19, because we have to sacrifice for other people. We don't want to do that. We live in a world where we cut people off in the grocery line. You know, we go through lights and sit in the middle of the intersection, and we block the traffic because we want to make sure when we get to our destination, we don't care about the next man. Nobody cares. Where we do that at? We stopped caring about each other a long time ago when Michael Jackson died. That's when the light went out. We don't care. That's why it's going to be very difficult for us to deal with COVID-19, because we are so fucking selfish as human beings that we don't even want to do the small things like doing something like this. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do something in front of you that millions of Americans refuse to do for the greater good. Now, what I just did right there and putting a mask on is too difficult for millions of Americans to do. They will not do it because of my rights. I've got rights, right? They won't do it. It's just that simple. Look at this. Mask on. That's it. That's it. Motherfuckers won't even do this. There's no way in the world we're going to beat COVID. We are ill-equipped to deal with anything that makes us sacrifice for other people that we don't know. Like, if it's a family member or somebody you love, okay, I got you. But outside of that, ain't nobody got time for that. God's little selfish, self-motivated, singular-celled creatures. That's all we are. Not really singular cell, but that's all we are, man. We at our all-time, narcissism is at our all-time high. All-time high. Self-aggrandizement, all-time high. We have never been more full of ourselves as we are right now. And then people say sacrifice for the greater good. We like, well, I ain't got to sacrifice. What about the 1776? I've got rights. Okay. So if it's not Omicron, it'll be whatever comes after Omicron. Not even sure what that is. Deborah writes, we do, white supremacists don't and never have. No, white folks don't, man, black, white, across the board. There is a significant portion of Americans that are only caught up with themselves, period. They only care about themselves and their silo, the people that they live with, that they rock with. Outside of that, they don't give a damn about nobody else, period. T-Greg is blocking people? You out here blocking people, man? Deborah writes, that mac and cheese was dry, though. Is that right? Brent writes, what? Yes, that was you. Maybe you need to contact Dr. Chantel Thomas to work on your emotions. Emotions? That's what we're doing now? Ha, ha, ha. Let me see. Adele writes, he called you out, Nate, in my stink meaner voice. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I don't know. Guess I had to deal with it. Drop writes, Thomas Jefferson, quote, I consider ethics as well as religion as supplements to the law and the government of man. Elected officials are held to a higher standard. Oh, held to a higher standard. Wendell Young deleted some text messages. If y'all don't stop. So what? Big deal. It didn't matter then and it don't matter now. But like I said, primarily with black folks, and again, maybe I'm just sensitive to what happens to melanated people in Hamilton County, but I just see that when it comes to melanated people, there is no amount of money that can be spent. There's no cap on the amount of money that will be spent in the prosecution, right? They just kept going after Tracy Hunter and after Tracy Hunter and after Tracy Hunter until they finally got something. Oh, she gave a piece of paper to her brother. Oh, we got her now. We got her. Brent Rice, sports gambling expert. Yeah, that's where he's positioned himself. I hope the brother's successful when he's doing. I do. It's going to be an avalanche of it, though. I'm already seeing it. When they go, it's already, sports betting is going legal all over the country, and I'm already seeing an avalanche of it. So get ready. So he's positioned himself here to do whatever that is. I'm not even sure if I can even speak intelligently on it, but I hope in the best. I wish for him nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Let me see. Brent Rice, first the fat boys break up and now the soft middle. Right. Jared writes, does the alt middle like frivolous spending over nonsense? Yes, they do. Was he convicted? Oh, TNT got her popcorn. We got confirmed today. Deborah writes, fame is deflecting from the woman situation. Yeah, he certainly was. It was so obvious. I mean, isn't it obvious to you? I mean, I'm just having some fun with it. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just really having some fun. You know what I'm saying? Y'all always poking y'all fingers in everybody else's business. So now it's your turn. Okay? And you tried to lie to your boy, Nate, but you can't lie to me. We spend too much time together. You called into the show way too many times. I got the rhythm now. And when this man said, yeah, well, he was back in Avtab and I was back in David Mann, that's why we stopped talking. I'm like, you're telling me that two black men who form an alliance are going to break up their alliance over Avtab Pureval and David Mann? I don't believe it. It was a bad lie. You can't bad lie to a poker player, man. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. Anthony writes, the city gets $100 from a $200,000 investment. Great return on our dollar. Right. And see, that's the way the story that Sharon Coolidge should write. That's the headline right there. We got a $100 return from a $200,000 investment. Again, I'm not sure that's the amount of money that they spend on the special prosecutor. But I'm honest with you. I'm pissed about that. As a taxpayer, I'm pissed. Y'all spent all this money for what? For what exactly? Nikki writes, they both got defensive. They did, didn't they? They got defensive It was very interesting. I'm like, damn. Like, what is going on? Come on, man. It's too many women out here, number one, to be trying to push up on your partner's lady. That's number one. Number two, whoever a woman chooses, period. That's it. You can't, what you gonna force her to be with you? Brent writes, so black emotions block me, so you are definitely emotionless. T-Grag blocked you? Wow, he was the main dude that other people were blocking. And now he just blocked somebody? That is amazing to me, huh? Life merging in like merging in traffic. How we gonna beat COVID-19, right? Sister Irish writes, a complete waste of time on a weak case. And that's what I was saying from day one. I'm not saying there aren't cases to be made, but that wasn't it. That was, once again, for the 15th time, a waste of time. A $100 fine. The judge himself said it was a weak case. There was really nothing there. And he ended up just pleading no contest, right? Which they accepted. And now it's all over with. Now, Wendell Young is going to go back to city council between now and January, and that's the end of the story. And in January, guess what? 8 Democrats are going to be sworn in, and they're going to have a super duper majority on city council. So what was this all really all about? What was this all really about? Sunshine laws, sunshine laws. Okay, I know it was the sunshine laws. But let me get back to this. So let's keep our eyes on this Omicron case. I'll be honest with you, when people was first talking about COVID, I really wasn't trying to hear it. There was people in the chop shop was like, Nate, are you watching this? I was like, no, I'm not watching it. And then this is like going back to like, I don't know, the end of 2019. And then we know what happened in the beginning of 2020. Boom, it all took off. And here we are now, a year, maybe 2 years later now. Damn near 2 years later. Or we are 2 years later. It was 2 years ago when we started first hearing about COVID-19 in China and other places around the world. And then we started talking about what was happening here in America. And then, you know, the beginning of 2020, going into the spring, boom, that's when it all hit. Everybody was shut in for a little while. I mean, damn, we lived through some amazing times, y'all. Whoever thought we lived through a pandemic together? This has been quite amazing. Quite interesting. Let me see. Simone Harris is leaving Kamala's team. I did see that. I saw that, Anthony. And that's interesting. You know, it's interesting that Simone Harris didn't get more love. Because she was that one for Biden. So it's been very interesting to see how she has been treated, because you would have thought she wanted to be the press secretary and the spokesperson for the Biden administration, which would have been groundbreaking because she's 31 years old. And she was a media surrogate for Joe Biden. She was on all the shows. She was on Fox. Anytime somebody would say something negative, boom, she would show up and set the record straight. She was the chief spokesperson and senior advisor to Kamala Harris. She's going to be stepping down from her role at the end of the year. She served as a senior advisor for Joe Biden during the 2020 campaign. I met her once in passing. Beautiful sister, straight from Wakanda. Looked like she could be one of the Dora Mijaili, protecting Black Panther. Beautiful smile, very intelligent. And we'll have to see what happens from here. I have to keep our eyes on this, but a lot of people thought she got played when she didn't get the press secretary job. They gave it to, you know, the other female, I forget her name, Jen Psaki, who I think is doing a good job though. I mean, she be handling them. I think she's doing a good job. And I don't know if she's doing a good job for Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris was getting crazy bad press, and who knows? I mean, all you can do is advise somebody. They don't take your advice. What you gonna do? You can't force them. But I am aware of that. She outlived her usefulness. Disposable Negro. See, there you go. There you go. Dale writes, Simone Sanders' resignation coincides with Stacey Abrams' announcement running for governor. I did hear that. I did read that. She is. You think she's going to go down and run for and work for Stacey Abrams? She might. She might not. I don't know. DeAndre writes, they don't care. It's not their money, right? Jericho writes, my troller has arrived. Is that right? Who's your troller? Who is your troller? TNT writes, I detect no lies. I mean, that was just a waste of time. I'll be honest with you. We are like a month away from the new council and city mayor Cincinnati coming in. I'm really optimistic. I really am. I'm optimistic. I want to see what they're going to do. I want to see what they get done. I want to see if AFTAB is able to move this council, if they're going to move as a unit and be able to really put some things in place. I know some of the people who are on council, in general, I think highly of them as a group. And You got Jan Michelle Lynn McCurney. She's going to be the vice mayor. It'll be interesting to see what she does with that role, working in tandem with Avtab Pureval. I look at Avtab as more of a progressive, and we're gonna get a chance to see if they move the needle. I think that they will, as long as the community's there to help push them. As long as we got that. Gladys writes, she ever jump in front of Biden to protect him? What do a sister have to do? She did. You're right about that, Gladys. I do remember that now. Somebody ran on the stage at Biden. She ran up there like a damn offensive lineman blocking for her candidate. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. She's 31 years old. She has White House experience. She going to be all right. You know, if all she does is go back to what she was doing before, I think she was a correspondent for MSNBC. If she don't do nothing but that, she going to be all right. She got a great resume at 31 years old. Drop writes, what happened to Angela Rye? I don't know. I don't watch a lot of MSNBC. I don't know if she's still been on that show or not. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. So this was the cover conversation this morning. Massacre in Michigan. Ethan Crumley charged as an adult. 4 students died in a deadly rampage. And 11 people were actually injured. I hope that no one else loses their life. It's a very sad and tragic thing. Very sad and tragic all the way around. I mean, primarily for the people that lost loved ones. I was looking at some of the images of some of the young people, and I'm like, damn, 16 years old. My daughter's 16 years old. To me, she has her whole life in front of her, right? Everything is in front of her. Very, very sad. But arming teachers is not the way. Is not the way. What we need to do is to change the culture inside some of these schools. We need to make sure that we are identifying people that may have some issues earlier, and then we need to make sure that we're dealing with bullying, making sure that culture is safe, and metal detectors. Her and Jill Biden stopped that protester cold. I do remember that. We had a good time with that. It was funny. She was on that stage quick, boy. Whoo. Never forget it. Grasson writes, this ish is fun. Me too. I ain't tripping on none of this, LOL. It's only entertainment. Yeah, brother, it's only entertainment. Nikki writes, it's obvious to me. It's very obvious. Some woman broke them up. Or it probably wasn't even her. It's probably one of them getting their feelings about what she did or something like that. That's probably what happened. Callie writes, why was he not removed from the school for his behavior when his parents were called to the schools? Well, I don't know, Callie. I mean, I don't know what his behavior was, and maybe it didn't warrant him to be removed right then. You know, we can Monday morning quarterback it now, but it's kind of hard to do. One more time before we roll out this morning. Again, I really appreciate you. Want to remind you that the Ohio Kings are going up against the Cincinnati Movement this Saturday at 6 p.m. at Cincinnati State Technical and Community College in their gymnasium. And it's located at 3520 Central Parkway here in beautiful Cincinnati. General admission is $10. Courtside VIP is $20. And your VIP includes free concessions. Now, kids 12 and under get in free when accompanied by an adult. And they're also doing free haircuts. So you might want to get a haircut or a lineup, whatever. Mayor-elect Avtab Pureval will toss out the ceremonial jump ball. Masks are required. So you can come out and support your local semi-pro basketball team that's based here in the city. They're also locally Black-owned. And have a good time as well. Have a good time. All right, let me jump inside the chop shop again. Jane Kearney, Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney seems to be positioning herself nicely for mayor. Yeah, she definitely could. She definitely could. You know, let's say Avtab leaves after 4 years, or he stays. After 8 years, he's term limited out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know Jan Michelle McKern like that, but she's got a good energy about her, and I have a favorable opinion about her. I have an overall favorable opinion about her. So I'm expecting I'm expecting big things. We shall see. With that, family, I got to make a move. Have an excellent rest of your Thursday. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever with you tomorrow morning. We'll chop it up. We'll kick the show off at about 7:30 a.m. approximately tomorrow morning. Have an excellent rest of your Thursday. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my gun on my